Hello, and welcome back to the Nourish with Renata podcast. Today, we are talking about periods. Yes, that thing that half the population experiences, but so few actually talk about. And I'm here to tell you if you want to have better hormonal health, better fertility, better energy, if you want to have peace in your bodies, and overall better physical, mental, and emotional health, we have got to normalize talking about our menstrual cycles. So if you've ever felt shame, confusion, or if you need to be silent about your period, this episode is for you. Let's change the narrative about talking about our menstrual cycles. So let's get real for a second. There are so many things that we are taught as young women about our periods, but most of all, it's the things that we are conditioned to do or say about our periods that keeps these conversations small, that keep these conversations taboo. We see things like social media or advertising talking about hiding your periods or hiding your period products or being discreet or not making a big fuss or how you shouldn't express how you're really feeling when you're having your period. We whisper about it, we chat about it with our girlfriends in hushed tones, or worse, we think that our periods are gross, annoying, or something that we should dread every single month. And that shame, that silence, it's not harmless. It is that thing that actually disconnects us from our bodies. It teaches us to ignore the signs of our cycles not being normal. It makes sure that we never seek help for the conditions that we're experiencing until it gets so bad it's impossible to ignore. So those painful periods or irregular cycles, PMS, PCOS, endometriosis, these are all early signs of hormonal imbalances, and many times women are not speaking up because we feel like it is something to be shameful of. We are taught at a very young age to not talk about our cycles, to not mention we're on our periods, to hide our period products. And we don't know, as a result of that conditioning, what is normal and what is not. I like to make the distinction that there are many things that are common about cycles, and there's also those things within that commonality of symptoms that are actually not normal, that we need to be getting help for. So, those excruciating camps, they're not normal, they are common. And perhaps you're getting intense bleeding, very heavy bleeding. While it might be common, you might find girlfriends that say, yes, my period is very heavy too. It should not be normal. We need to start talking about this so that we can actually get the help that we need to improve our overall health. In addition, if you have an irregular cycle, if you're not getting your period for months and perhaps you're celebrating that because you think it's so annoying and frustrating to get your period, please don't brush that off. Let's talk about it. Our cycles are truly our monthly report card for our hormonal health, and if we keep not talking about it, we also keep suffering in silence. So we need to flip this. We actually need to start talking about our cycles so not only us, but all the women that we know start getting help. And this is why normalizing the conversation around our periods is so important because we are taking back ownership of our health. We need to start to track our cycles and notice patterns or trends. We need to be able to spot those early signs of hormone imbalances like fatigue or mood swings or changes in your libido. We also need to know that we're not alone in our symptoms, and we need to be able to speak up. We need to ask for help. And the more that we do this, an amazing thing happens. We actually understand our bodies more. Instead of fighting against our cycle, we become so much more compassionate. So we start doing this by talking about our cycles. And this might feel very weird, especially if you've grown up in a family where they definitely didn't talk about cycles and it was hush hush. I understand. It was very similar in my family too. But we need to start shifting these generational patterns because when we talk openly about our cycles, we give our daughters, our sisters, our friends permission to do the same. Imagine a world where every single woman knows what their luteal phase is, where they feel like they can rest without guilt when they're bleeding, when they nourish themselves in sync with their cycle. This does not need to be a fantasy, and this is the power of what happens and what can become your reality when we speak up about our cycles. When we speak up about our cycles, there's also something really important that happens, and that is we improve our overall health. because your period isn't just about your uterus. Your cycle actually reflects the entire state of your body, your health, your well being. So, your gut, your thyroid, your adrenals, your blood sugar levels, even your emotional well being, they all show up in how your cycle behaves. And if we want to optimize your metabolism, your energy, your skin, your brain function, we need to look at your hormones. Your period is one of the clearest, most consistent indicators of how your hormones are doing. And we are oftentimes not even taught how to take that information and to decipher it. So we need to normalize talking about our periods for whole body healing, for whole body health. We need to make space for women's preventative care. And we need to shift from fixing symptoms to understanding the root cause of your hormonal imbalance. That's truly the foundation of long-term vitality. So how do we normalize this conversation? Well, there's a few things that we can do. And the first thing is talk about your cycle openly. Talk about it with friends, family, your partner. It doesn't have to be awkward, and it becomes easier the more you talk about it. The second is ask questions when you're unsure. Curiosity is a powerful skill that we can use to understand our cycle better. Ask myself questions. I'll leave my consultation form link below because I want you to be able to be supported with asking more questions about your cycle. You can also model it. So if you have daughters and sons, model understanding your health, model asking questions, model diving deep into looking for trends about your body, and also reflect that out into your community. Let everyone know it's safe to talk about your bodies. You can also work with various practitioners who understand cyclical health and hormonal health and don't just suppress it. And if you go to a doctor and they do stop the conversation, find someone else. And the last and most important thing is come and join my Normalize and Prioritize Masterclass series. This will be happening next month in August 2025, and it is going to be an amazing way for you to learn more about how to normalize and prioritize your cycle. I'll leave the link below. Join, really grab a group of girlfriends, join the masterclass together. This is how we really change the game around women's hormonal health.